Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Roadblock, and we are on the free-to-play account, the regular free-to-play account. So, I've been wanting to make this video for a couple weeks now, mostly because I need to make it. Oh wow, my lips are really red. I'm eating frosted cookies and these kind of cookies right here. It makes my lips look really red on camera. Okay, sorry about that. So I have been wanting to make this video for a while because I need to. So if you guys have been paying attention, when I get in here, you'll see like I got a lot of stuff, kind of stockpiling up. But the reality is, there's no way that with how new this account is, that all my gear that's kind of clogging up the works here, 1,500 pieces. There's no way all 1,500 of those pieces are good, right? So now it's time to go through and kind of take a look and figure out what I can get rid of. So first things first, if you're this video is going to be about a gear cleanse. First things first, if you're doing a gear cleanse, you want to click these three. That's the bottom three, right? Gloves, chest, boots. And you want to get rid of anything that has flat stats. Now you'll see I do that regularly on this account. So I don't really have that problem right now. That's frustrating because it makes it harder to figure out where the real weak pieces are in all of this mess, right? One other thing that you could do is take a look at your weaker sets, sets that you don't really want or maybe won't need on your account. Fury kind of comes to mind. I mean, there are niche scenarios where Fury is great, but it's not a set that I'm going to use a lot of. Likewise, life, offense, and defense sets. I know you get a lot of this stuff early, and it's, pretty decent for you early game, but in the later mid game, late game eras, it's a lot less relevant. Stuff like that. I just clicked Merciless. That's a good set. I'm not saying that needs to be acknowledged here. For me, what is a big deal for me would be kind of substats. So let's find something that rolled really, really bad. So flat HP, flat attack, flat defense, nothing. I've already gotten rid of some of that, but there was a little bit of flat HP and flat defense. Let's narrow that down even further and go with rare pieces. So attack gloves. Actually, why don't we target attack gloves here? So here's my opinion on attack percent gloves. And I'm going to want to be very, very clear about this. There are situations where attack percent gloves are useful. Bomb champions is one of them. You don't care about crit rate and crit damage with a bomb champion. You want as much attack on that champion as you can get. Crit rate or attack percent gloves are great. But if you have an attack percent based nuker, you always want them in crit damage gloves as the highest end. And then under that would be crit rate if you can't manage to do crit damage gloves and get the crit rate throughout the rest of the kit. So attack percent gloves are kind of weak. Why do I save them? Because of the way filters work in the game. So why is this showing up? Oh, because I'm in substats. There we go. Primary stats, attack percent gloves. I don't see myself using ever a lot of these gloves. What I'm going to do is narrow this down further. And again, I'm not telling you to do this. Assess your own account and decide what you're going to need. But it is very unlikely that I'm going to use any attack percent gloves for any of my champions. Any of the current attack champions that I have, I don't have any bomb champions. But I don't want to get rid of all of them because I could pull a Nishak tomorrow, and then all of a sudden I need attack percent gloves. So I'm narrowing it down to 5-star right now, attack percent gloves. And then we'll go down to purple and epic, or rare and epic. So I'll keep the legendary ones because those are going to have some potentially better substats. So right now, everything I have is...
Shoot him, Kevin!
I mean... Man, the timing... Thank you for the subscription there, though. I appreciate that. Also, didn't have my headphones in again because I'm a genius. So this is stuff that I want to sell. I keep on emphasizing that, and I know it feels very political sometimes when I'm like, don't sell the stuff that you think you need and everything. I would love to be able to lay out a flat statement and say, attack percent gloves suck. But there are uses for them, and I think it's important for everybody to understand that. Like, this would be pretty darn good on a bomb champion, because you have that accuracy pre-roll, and then you have attack percent on the gloves, speed as well, which are stats that you'd want. You'd love to see some percent stats in here, but this isn't bad, right? And that made a little bit of room for me. Okay, now I'm most of this I'm kind of spitballing here and thinking about like what do I want to get rid of, what what were we doing before that was looking at substats and finding stuff that rolled, like what about resist, HP, defense. Okay, so see right here, we have resist, HP, and defense, right? Everything that I just selected is going to have resist, flat stat HP, and flat defense. Okay, now here there's a little bit of accuracy on these gloves, so I'd probably keep these. But both of these chests don't have accuracy on them. Yeah, I'm not really interested in those ones. Here, we have crit rate, which is nice, but everything else is flat. We don't have crit damage. We don't have any speed, any survivability stats. I will keep it, though, because of the crit rate. There may come a time where I'd want an attack chest with just crit rate. A crit damage would be better, but... And then we have HP resist defense with a little bit of crit rate. So this, again, kind of falls into a scenario that we've been talking about, related somewhat to attack percent boots. Now, who's going to wear defense percent gloves? I meant gloves, not boots. Who's going to wear defense percent gloves and HP percent gloves? Nukers, not nukers. Debuffers, supports is what I was thinking of, right? So, is this kind of viable with all of these flat stats? With the ones that they have, no. If I had speed and accuracy on this set, then sure. Granted, I do get that if I can complete the set. But if we're talking about all of the gear on my account and all of the... Well, I also don't have a lot of perception on this account, too. So I'm going to keep those because I don't have a lot of perception. If we take a look at my perception gear, that's all I have. Now, if you were to look at my main... Oh, let's look at my main account. And I'll show you. how much perception gear I have. Right? So perception gear on the free to play is a little weak right now, and that's understandable given the circumstances. So, okay. I'm trying to kind of think about what else I want to do. I feel like it's too early for me to be like, rare gear is all gone, right? So I don't know that I'm going to do that yet. I am also going to consider looking at some of this stuff. And again, because we're so early in the account, I'm just going to go for rare. There isn't. Wow. Oh, yeah, there is. Okay, there we go. So let's talk percent boots now. And you'll notice I'm only looking at HP and defense. Each one of these pieces I personally am going to consider individually. And I'm taking a look at all of them right now. So who is going to wear HP or defense boots? Honestly, in my opinion, an HP or a defense-based nuker. Much later on in the game. If I have a champion that I want to have a high amount of HP and defense, well, the reality is I probably want them to have a lot of speed too, right? You want your supports to have speed. You want your debuffers to have speed. But there could be opportunities down the line where I may want an HP-based nuker or a defense-based nuker to wear those boots. And so that's why I keep the ones that have crit rate and crit damage for nukers. Very, very unlikely that I would ever want them to wear blue HP or defense boots. But the niche scenarios in my head that I would have champions in HP or defense boost are ones where they're nukers. The flip side of that, the other side of that, maybe a tanky champion that I want to be really, really slow. Have you guys ever run into those ultimate death knights in the arena that are super slow? Talking 99, 100 speed in two pieces of stone skin, and it just takes you forever to burn it, to get through it, burn that down, get all those through all those turns, right? So there are concepts there where you may want HP percent or defense percent on a big tank that you want to be slow so that they don't lose the buffs that you want them to have, right? Like, so the first one that comes to mind for me is a stone skin. If you want Ultimate Death Knight to protect your team against single target nukers, you may want him to be in stone skin, and if he's super slow, that stone skin won't go away unless you have a way of removing it, which is hard to do because of stone skin mechanics. You can then protect your team for a longer period of time. Another area that I've run a very slow Death Knight. On my main account, I had a slow Death Knight for a while in Hydra, where I wanted him super slow so he would keep all his buffs on him because I had his resistance stacked super high. Sorry, I just received a very important message from a friend of mine that I was very interested in, so I've been waiting for that for a while. I had to read it. But you'll see the resistance on my Ultimate Death Knight, this is my main account, is super high. Now, I do have him in speed. Oh, no, yeah, see? Defense percent boots. Now, I mean, he still is kind of fast for being a defense percent boots. But, only 157 speed, which isn't crazy fast, and he is tanky, which is amazing. Plus, that shield that he does is huge on this account. So, again, that's my main account, and that was a very niche late game build that probably won't be achieved anytime soon on the free to play. So I don't mind getting rid of those boots. Now, it's a different for every account. I'm so nervous about making this video because I don't want people to come at me in the comments and saying, you know, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Defense boots are great. HP percent boots are great. And you're right. There are certainly times and situations where this gear is very important to have and useful. It's just not on the account right now. And I have all this other gear that I can't even see what it looks like, right? So now let's pull some of this gear in. We should be able to get all of it. I got rid of a lot of stuff here. And then we're going to redo one of the other things that I did for my gear cleanse, right? So we're going to come in here. We're going to go primary stats, flat HP, flat attack, flat defense. Really? None of that rolled flat stats? I mean, that's really good. Some of it did roll. How much resistance main stat gear do I have on this account? Yeah, not that much. I am not, just like I'm not a fan of accuracy chests, I'm also not a fan of resistance chests. Again, that is a very, very heavy personal preference. Very, very heavy personal preference. I do have one piece here. I needed this piece to be able to beat a boss, I think in Doom Tower. And I took it off immediately. I've been able to, and again, late game account, a lot of luck has to go into this as well. But if we look at my Geomancer, I think he has the highest accuracy of anybody on my account. 586 accuracy. And he is in HP percent chest. I do think this is important to understand. Again, that this is not easy to do on any old account. But Geomancer can take a ton of hits, right? And you want him to take hits. That's the way his whole kit is built. So, you know, I'm just trying to summarize that I'm not a fan of HP percent and resistance chests. Now, I don't need to get rid of any of these at the moment because I've got a little bit of room to play with now. But I'm likely going to do a pretty big cleanse off camera where I'm going to be way more selective. And I don't really want to do it on camera because I don't want to get a lot of hate or judgment, you know, for the whole, like, why did you get rid of that? That was such a good piece, you know? It's warranted, but for me, I know where I want to go with my account and the direction that I want to take, and I would rather be more stringent with my gear selection than having all of these pieces that I don't know what to do with. What's crazy too is that I've been upgrading a lot of stuff. So if we just look at stuff that has crit rate and crit damage on it, you'll see a lot of it I've been kind of leveling. Depending on the other stats associated with it. Like I would want crit damage, crit rate, and attack percent, right? You'll see all of this stuff, and these are speed boots, right? Yeah, is leveled. What about for a defensive-based nuker? I don't have one yet, but I might get one at some point. I've done a lot of points into that. What about an HP based nuker? I don't have one. I might get one. Well, HP based nukers aren't especially known to be super good, but you know, it still doesn't hurt to have HP on a nuker in general. So, but yeah, I've just leveled this gear, and then I try to tweak and find, you know, where I want to put that gear on. So, but I kind of wanted to give like a brief rundown on a gear cleanse, but like the most important takeaway I want you to have from this, and it's very important that I emphasize the bottom three pieces. All of these pieces can roll flat stats or percent based stats. So I filter for all of the flat stat stuff and get rid of that. It don't do it for the top ones, because if you do it for the top ones, right? All right, this is every single piece of gear that's a weapon, a helmet, or a shield. If I filter it for flat stats, it's all the same pieces. Because that's the only thing that can roll on a weapon is flat attack. The only thing that can roll on a helmet is flat HP. The only thing that can roll as a main stat. The only thing that can roll as a shield is flat defense. So very important distinctions when you're filtering your gear and figuring out your stuff. So, okay. I'm going to call that a video. I think that kind of covered what I wanted to cover on it. Moving forward, I don't know that I want to commit to this. I'm really thinking about not doing videos on Monday nights because I have to wake up so early on Tuesday. It makes it kind of hard to both play these accounts and fit everything in to what I'm trying to do. So I don't know. I don't want to do that. I like making videos, but it's usually pretty hard. At least currently, I'm hoping that my schedule frees up a little bit moving forward. So maybe I just tough it out and hope that my schedule gets a little easier with some changes coming, hopefully in the near future. So for now, I'll say I'm going to keep making videos, but just keep in mind that I may have to make a change to that. If there comes a time where a video doesn't come out on a Monday night, just assume that's probably why. No news yet on when my next stream will be, but I think if I'm going to do another stream, I think I need to do some clan boss testing. So when I made the switch with this team, it was performing really, really well. It's been kind of underperforming lately, and it's possible I've been playing a little less. Maybe I've dropped ranking, which I did. I went from 3 to 2 in arena, so that could be a factor. Although my defense is what I want it to be, so that could possibly be a factor. But I do feel a little bit like the team is underperforming, and I kind of want to take a look and see how it would be with some, you know, if I did the Frozen Banshee and Venom Mage, right? Because I did invest heavily into Frozen Banshee and Venom Mage, so I never gave them a real test. I don't think. I may have. But I don't know. Because the other thing I want to test, and this one's a little more important to me, is Ursula versus Ultimate Death Knight for Clan Boss. I do think Ultimate Death Knight is gonna potentially keep the team alive a lot longer than Ursula does, and be more consistent about it. So I don't know for sure. We'll get it figured out. But if I do stream again, that'll probably be the goal of the stream. Um, Account takeovers, I'll probably save and spread those a little bit more. So, anyways, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for all the support. I do want to try and make a big push, if possible, to try and get to 1,000 subs. It sounds crazy, by my birthday. Now, I look, you set goals, right? And they're supposed to be hard. So right now, we are at 750 subscribers. We've got 250 subscribers to go. I'm going to be mentioning subscribing in every video for the next, up until my birthday. If we hit the goal, great. If not, I'm okay with that. I'm not, you know, goals. I don't know. It just, yeah, I don't know. It seems very daunting. But if you like my content, if you've, been a fan and you're missing episodes here and there and kind of wondering, wait, what happened? When did he get that champion and that kind of thing? I highly recommend subscribing. You'd be able to find out every time I upload, because I'm inconsistent with my times right now. So you'd be able to look and see, oh, okay, he released a new video. What champion did he pull? That sort of thing. Oh, did he decide to level up that new champion he got or not? That kind of stuff. So, but most of all, the subscriptions really help me out with my account. Just it'll open up ad revenue, but also it kind of, I don't know. It's weird to say, but I just want to be like honest with you guys. It kind of makes me feel more legitimate, right? So then I can start reaching out to other content creators and be like, hey, do you want to do a collab, or do you want to, take some more risks with the channel type stuff? Like, I don't know. It just, that 1,000 number feels like the magic number that, okay, maybe this isn't just some dude in his basement pipe dream, right? Because that's how this started. And I'm not talking about Raid. I've been streaming and trying to be a Twitch/content creator for 10 years now. And it wasn't until Raid Shadow Legends, of all games, that I gained a lot of traction. And I'm loving it. I'm having so much fun. And in my most recent stream, I asked you guys, like, hey, do you want to see me play other games? And I was surprised at the response. I may put a poll up soon asking about, do you guys want to see me play other games? That would likely not happen until after the free-to-play challenge. I'm not taking on any other projects until after that challenge. So, but the point of this was to say thank you for all of the support, and I'll see y'all in the next video.